Hello class. In this video we're going to do a quick review of unit rate. Now before we go into unit rate, you of course need to know what rates and unit rates are. So a rate is just a comparison of two units. You're going to see quite a few of those in this example video. And a unit rate, which we'll be using to convert rates from, is a rate that either has one of those two units equal to 1. So our first example here, we can see an example of a rate that someone drives 400 miles in 10 hours. Now, if I wanted to turn this into a unit rate, what I'm going to do is first I'll write a simple proportion, 400 miles in 10 hours. And I know that has to be equal to 1 hour. And I can just scale down by dividing by 10. And I'll quickly see that someone can drive 440 miles in 1 hour, or per hour. Now most times you won't even need to set up this proportion because you should realize all we're doing is using division to find our unit rates. Now keep that in mind, that division is going to be key here in order to find our unit rates. In our next example, we can see that someone spent $25 on 5 IDs. And if we divide 25 by 5, we should realize that it's $5 per ID. Now in this next example, we want to create at least 2 unit rates, and I'm actually going to show you 3 different ways you can create a unit rate. So we can see here that Seth typed 144 words, and he did this in 48 seconds. So our first unit rate we want to identify is how many words can this guy type in 1 second. So again, I'm going to use division, and we're going to divide 144 by 48 in order to realize that we're going to type, or Seth will type, 3 words per second. Now that's only one way to come up with the unit rate here. So we have 3 words per second, and in our next example what we're actually going to do is figure out how long it takes them to type 1 word. So we're going to have a certain number of seconds per word. Now again, we're going to use division for this. In our first example, we divided 144 by 48. In this example, we're actually going to flip our units backwards and have 48 divided by 144 words. So if I do 48 divided by 144, I'm going to get 1/3 of a second to type just 1 word. Now in our last example, it's going to be a little bit different because our original units were words and seconds, but now we're actually going to convert this from words to minutes. So I'm going to use the first unit rate I found, 3 words every 1 second, and I'm going to convert this to 60 seconds because I know 1 minute is 60 seconds. So we're going to have blank number of words per minute instead, because that's still a unit rate because we're still keeping one of these units to 1. It just happens to go from seconds, from 1 second to 1 minute. So 3 times 60, because 1 times 60 is 60. 3 times 60 gives me 180 words per minute. Now in our last example, we have a scarf is $18 for 4 feet. So just like last time, we're going to be using division to find our first unit rate. So 4 feet is $18. If I divide 18 by 4, I get that each foot of scarf is $4.50 per foot. Now again, like last time, all I'm going to do is flip my division. Now I want to see how much scarf I can actually get for $1. So we're going to put 4 feet in our numerator and divide that by $18. Now when I do this, I'm going to get kind of a weird number. So we're going to have 4 feet divided by 18, just like we have in our ratio, so 4 divided by 18. And we see that we get about 2/10 of a foot per dollar. So each dollar we get, or each dollar we spend, we get that much more scarf. Now again, we can always convert this from feet, because originally our 2 units were feet and dollars. So we're actually going to change this in our third example. Instead of having dollars per foot, because we know it's $4.50 a foot, we're going to turn this into yards. And you should know that there's 3 feet in 1 yard. So I'm going to multiply this and I'm going to scale this up by a factor of 3. So 450 times 3 is going to give me $13.50 for a single yard of scarf. Right. If you have any questions about the retake, please feel free to ask. Now remember, once you've taken the notes on this video, you will still have to complete the online quiz and come in before school or during lunch in order to take the actual retake. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to message me on Schoology or send me an email. Thank you.